Good morning and happy Friday. So, I didn't give Marley her greenie yet, so she's upset. So, what do rich people do that poor people don't do? What's the difference? Well, it's mostly psychology. Everybody's going to think that it's some sort of plan, it's some sort of program. And in a way, that's true, but the majority of it is psychology. There's an attitude of, I'm going to create this specific result. And so what is the result that they create? Well, rich people spend less than they make, and they save the difference, and they invest it, and they don't touch it. And they don't buy things, they buy assets. And then they have their assets buy things. So how do they make sure that they always do that? They make sure they always do that by paying themselves first. They take a percentage of their income that's non-negotiable, 10%, 5%, 20%, 40%, whatever it is, and that percentage gets paid to them off the top no matter what. It's just like taxes, only it's a tax they pay to themselves, and it goes away, and they never ever touch that principal. That principal then gets invested into assets, and they leave all that money alone until it reaches what we call critical mass. And critical mass simply means that the investments reach a point where they generate enough income that you don't have to work again unless you want to. That's the formula that every person who develops wealth and maintains wealth uses. Pay yourself first, invest the principal, and they usually do it pretty conservatively, by the way. Invest the principal and don't ever touch it, and keep reinvesting the gain on that principal until it reaches a point of critical mass, and then start taking money off of it. The pay yourself first can be done in a bunch of different ways. You can set it up so it does it automatically at a bank. You can set it up. There's a credit card now that does it. Whole life insurance policies, if you convert your term life insurance policies into whole life insurance policies, those are very good conservative investment vehicles. And since you got to pay a premium quarterly or semi-annually, that's a way to make sure that you pay yourself first. But the point is, if all of a sudden the government increased your taxes by 10% or 15% or 20%, we would bitch and piss and moan, but then we would figure out how to do it. We'd figure out how to pay it. Well, this is exactly what you're doing. Poor people look at it and say, I'm going to invest when I have money. Well, you don't ever have the money. Spending always increases to meet income. That's a reality. So you have to do it right at the beginning when you don't have the money. You discipline yourself saying, I'm going to take this amount of money and I'm going to set it aside, and I'm never going to touch that principal. The reason that you being younger is helpful if you're doing this is because of compounding interest. If you take one person who invests $300 a month from the time that they're 19 to the time that they're 27 and then quits, and then take somebody who invests from 27 until they're 55, so one invests just for a few years and one invests for almost 30, who ends up with the most money at 65? One has invested a small amount, $300 a month for a few years, and one's invested hundreds of thousands. It's the first one because of compounding interest. The one that started investing earlier, even though they stopped and even though they invested significantly less, because of compounding interest, they end up with more money at age 65. So that's why the earlier you start, the more important it is. But either way, even if you're not young anymore, this is still the way to financial independence, is to pay yourself first, never touch that principal, reinvest the gain until it reaches a point where you don't ever have to work and it pays you whatever you need. That's what every wealthy person does. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your Friday. I hope it's not too hot where you are. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.